I teach at an elementary school in America, and every day I know that I am in charge with not just teaching other people's kids, but protecting them. And in the back of my head, I know there's always that opportunity that the day may come, I got to protect them with my own life. With this knowledge, I still sign my contract every year, and then I get to wait and sit back and watch politicians use us for campaign money. They accuse us of indoctrination. They accuse us of grooming children. Like that's dark. And they just throw that out there on a Tuesday.
Now, I want y'all to think about how big of a slap in the face it is to teachers all over the country. All the issues that they go through already, not being paid enough, not being respected generally, not being listened to, being accused of being groomers, all types of things, right? All this rhetoric, accused of just teaching and pushing critical race theory. But on a pretty regular basis, young psychopaths who can just freely go purchase military grade weaponry and hundreds of rounds of ammunition are walking into schools, murdering innocent children and killing teachers. And the Senate just took a recess until, well, a 2 week recess for 2 weeks. Not only are Republicans taking access to abortion away, not only are they taking away our access to voting, and not only did two horribly tragic mass shootings happen a week apart from one another, now they're taking a break. What type of message is this sending to people who you need to show up to the polls?
And now I got to sit here for the next news cycle and watch these 14 babies get played over and over again. Only to know that once this dust settles, that these politicians, the public, they're just gonna go back to normal.
So the Democrats, they come out and they do their grandstanding. And it is true that, the Democrats have put a number of bills through the House, and, the Senate's the place where legislation goes to die, the legislative graveyard. So while that's the case, they're still taking their vacations. But I also want to, talk about New York Times reaching out to all 50 Republican senators just about where they stand on the issues of gun control, right? So the New York Times reached out to all 50 Republican senators to see whether they would support a pair of House-passed measures to strengthen background checks for gun buyers. 32 declined to answer or deflected, 14 are opposed or leaning no, and 4 are open or undecided, which basically means that all 50 of the Republican senators are a guaranteed no for strengthening gun control in this country.
They're going to go back to attacking us. They're going to go back to villainizing us. But I'm still going to show back up on Monday to protect other people's kids.
Now, while it's typically true that once the dust settles, everything goes back to normal, and not only do the politicians go to sleep, but the public goes back to sleep, I think that that's not quite what's going to happen now. Because I do think that the public is engaged enough right now that we're going to continue to put pressure on our elected officials. And not only that, but get better organized within our communities, because there's so many things that are happening at the same time. These terrible mass shootings, which, the two, up in Buffalo, New York, and the one in Uvalde, Texas, those two were just two that were continuing to happen. They were just so horrific that they grabbed the country's attention. But again, state by state, Oklahoma just passing a bill that criminalizes abortion at conception. All of these things happening at the same time, I don't think that the dust is going to settle in a way that it typically does. I have faith in the American people. More importantly, obviously, I don't have faith in our institutions. However, I have faith in our ability to change those institutions. And that's why I'm here. And I know that's why you all are here too.